Nah. Let's not do the Halloween crap. I'm German. I don't know Halloween. We don't have that. We don't do that. So, welcome to the Compendium of Discomfort. I have an easy week at work, so I thought I should just record a bunch of videos today. So today is a day off. And basically I spent most of the day just sleeping, taking a walk, mildly cleaning up this mess that you can't see, luckily. But now it's like 9 p.m. and I'm starting to finally do my videos, and let's see how many we can get done. So the next few videos, if you see this pink shot, I will probably have done this all in one session, and you know how active I actually was tonight. And let's start with something a little bit scary, Halloween appropriate, and a little bit weird. We're talking about Documento Mikaiketsu Rabuho Satsujin Jiken. So the Unsolved Love Hotel Murder Case Incident. A very, very low budget horror movie, so I won't really give a rating. I quite liked it, so much ahead, but I guess it just heavily depends on how you feel about very low budget horror movies, so especially like the more found footage type of movie. So let's see. I guess if you're okay with that kind of stuff, you will enjoy this movie quite a lot. If you are very critical and you expect very good professional acting and these things, maybe you will not enjoy this as much. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the circumstances that this movie came together. It's directed by Dave Jackson and Guy, and I still think Guy is a very funny name. I'm very sorry. Dave Jackson is a guy from Australia, I think, and he's most famous for making a movie called Cat Sick Blues, and Guy is a guy from England, I think, and he's most famous for a movie that's called Sound of Summer. Cat Sick Blues I haven't seen yet. Sound of Summer I have watched, and it has some very good elements and some very not so good elements, so it's a mixed bag, but both are very, very low to no budget movies, and I think if you're into that kind of stuff, you can enjoy that one as well. Like there's some really good effect things going on, and I just think with a little bit care of the script, they could have made it really, really nicely and really well. So even for this non-budget area, I think that it could have been better. I was a little bit... I read some very like 5-star ratings, critics and stuff, and I was okay, that sounds really, really good. And even like in this no budget context, I was a little... There's stuff that you can even fix with no budget a little bit better, and I think the new one surprisingly doesn't have these problems that much. Those two are, by the way, the hosts of a podcast called Show Me Something Wrong. I've listened to a couple of episodes, and I think it's quite fun. So if you want to hear people talk about very wrong movies, that's worth a look as well. And then in this movie, just to finish that, there's another actress who's Kuromi Kirishima. She was in The Sound of Summer, and that doesn't seem to have done much. These two someday have met in Osaka, the city where I live here, because Dave ordered one of Guy's movies, and he looks at the address like he sends out the DVDs by himself, like, you're living in the same city, let's meet. And then they met and they became friends, and they ended up making this movie that I'm talking about here today, which is basically the story. Like, those two, the main actors of the movie, go drinking to a bar, and there's the bartender Kuromi, who's the other third main actor, and she tells them a story about the friend of one of her customers who got murdered in a love hotel, like stabbed and then drowned, and they're like filmmakers, so maybe they're interested in the story, and so they go to interview that customer, and from there on they try to investigate a little bit this case, and I think it's quite well done. So seemingly they had a little bit of a budget and no script this time, and I think even though they had no script, at least for me, it made more sense than, for example, here the Sound of Summer, so that worked out quite well. So cool, very nice. It's all like very much shot on smartphones and one camera. Very much found footage look. So I'm not sure what they were going for. Like the title suggests, it's more like a documentary, but I feel like it's more of a found footage film. But I mean, does the concept of found footage even really work anymore? Because I mean, the idea is you walk around with a like tape camcorder and you start filming, so everything is just one scene after another, because you stop and you start and you stop and you start, and you get this kind of a movie. But if you do it like this, you have different devices that you film with, and every video that you film becomes one file on the memory. It doesn't really work so well, I think, the concept itself, because here it actually requires someone to assemble the parts, put them together actively. That's one thing where I feel like, oh my god, if this is like in the fictional world of this this movie, these two guys are pretty nasty bastards. But we'll get to that in the spoiler part. So I'm not sure. So maybe more the documentary style is more appropriate nowadays, more like a fake documentary, but it's not so much presented in a documentary. So it's more presented in a found footage style, but if you think about it, which you maybe shouldn't do, it's more of a documentary. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. It's not important. I just thought about that a little bit. Does this concept of found footage even make sense anymore? Well, and I feel like it's a little bit more tricky. You always need this person who in the fictional reality assembles the parts and puts it actively out. It's not just the tapes that you find somewhere and you watch. I think that concept has some issues nowadays. Anyway, here, this movie, before we get into more details, I want to tell you about the circumstances that I watched it in, which was pretty fun. I was hanging out with a friend, and another friend came and was like, I'm going to this movie screening at the Loft Plus One West in Osaka, and we're like, okay, sounds cool, let's go. And we went there, and I read about it on Twitter before, and I forgot about it. And basically, cool, happened. We went there. There were about like 100 people, a little bit over 100 maybe, and it's more like a bar or live house or something. So there's a stage, but you have chairs and tables. It's really nice. I was a little bit worried because I didn't bring my glasses, and so I was sitting pretty far in the back. So I was like, can I probably see? But I could see very well, and it was a pretty good atmosphere. Very nice. I had a little talk before. After the movie, I had to leave quite soon, so I don't know if they had another talk later or they just kept drinking or something. At least people were sitting and waiting, and I guess something else happened later. But like I said, I had to leave, and Anyway, so this whole setting is pretty cool, and it makes it a little bit. So I feel the movie was by itself already pretty good, and the whole like setting, atmosphere, event made it very nice and very enjoyable. And the two directors and actors seem to be quite fun people. So yeah, cool event. And yeah, like this, it makes a lot of fun to watch, even like maybe not so well produced independent movies, underground movies. It's a lot of fun like this. So I guess if they have something like that again, I will go there again. Will be good fun. Yeah, anyway, so what can we say about the movie? It's like I said, mostly like found footage style, so they film stuff with their phones in the typical phone way, like this, not like this, which I feel like nobody should film stuff like that, but I guess TikTok ruins that forever. Like nobody should take vertical videos. Horizontal is like this, right? Vertical videos, it's just awful. Please don't do that. Yeah, but they do that, so it's clear it's filmed with a phone. It makes sense to do it like that in this case. So they have some stuff like that, especially like in the beginning in the bar, and later they when they don't have the camera phone, they do that again, and everything else is filmed with a camcorder. So that's pretty interesting, like different formats, different styles. It's already pretty good. And they have a pretty long build up where they first talk to with a bartender friend and with the custom of the bartender friend, and then they go to a shrine, then they go to this love hotel, and then stuff starts happening. Of course, there's a curse. I haven't mentioned the curse, yeah? And yeah, I think so far it's a very, very long build up, but that's okay. And yeah, the people are surprisingly very scared of the curse. Like it's getting treated quite well, like a curse should be. Like, oh, don't go there, you will die. And I think the curse has every woman who goes there on the birthday. I think it was the birthday, and the girl got killed on her birthday or something like that. If you go there and you're female, you will die. And of course they bring their bartender friend, so they can do horrible things to a woman, which guy seemingly, at least in the movies, seems to like. I don't know. What I have seen in his movies is always very rough with the ladies. I hope it's just no, he seems to be a lovely guy, but maybe he has funny interests in movies. And yeah, so a long build-up works very well, builds up some tension. You get the setting, like you're first in Tokyo, then they go somewhere to the countryside, I don't know, a place. And in this countryside town, it's very nice, very funny that there is like normal houses and stuff, and suddenly there's one big area with just love hotels, very fancy and colorful and funny, and it's very good, it's very fun, and they stay there overnight, and of course stuff happens, and what happens I will tell you in the spoiler part. What I think works very well is the panic stuff, like when they go around at night because stuff is going on. Of course, it's very shaky. It's sometimes hard to understand. It's sometimes hard to understand the geography of the hotel, but that just makes sense because they're in panic. And if you're in panic, you don't understand the geography of the place around you. That's just totally normal. It works very well. It builds up very good, like very, very nice atmosphere. And yes, it's all good and exciting. It gets quite intense at the end. And I actually liked that quite a lot. I was very surprised. I mean, I expected a very, very low budget to no budget horror movie that maybe, yeah, if it's fun, I would have been happy about. No, even as a horror movie, I think at least those panic scenes in the hotel segment are pretty good. They work quite well. There were some decent effects. There's a little bit gore. Gore is maybe a little bit, a little bit. Oh, we need more violence, but it's fine. It works. It looks a little silly. I think with a little bit showing less, it would have been scarier and maybe more intense. So maybe they did a little bit too much there, but if you like your gore, you will get something. And the only thing I can really criticize is that it's suddenly over very quickly. And I guess to talk about that, we need some spoilers. So from now on, a little bit spoilers for the end. If you're into this kind of stuff, go get the movie. I think they're selling it on disc, or at least there was a crowdfunding campaign. I think that's now just over, but probably if you send Guy or Dave a message, they will probably send you a disc or something. It should be possible to get it. So if you're into this kind of stuff, if you want to see some newcomer directors doing their weird stuff, it's a lot of fun. It's pretty good, and just give it a try. So from now on, of course, if you're like high class cinema elite snob, this is not for you. You won't get great acting. You won't get a great script. It's very functional, but no, it's a lot of fun. Let's talk about the things that happen in the hotel, and spoilers and the end, and why that was a little basically what happens, of course, there's 3 people at night in the hotel. I forgot before, there's an egg vending machine, which is pretty amazing. I love the egg vending machine, just that. They're in the hotel. One of the guys wakes up and realizes that Kuromi is gone, and wakes up the other one, and they go looking for her, and stuff happens. There's a monster in the boiler room where the lady got killed she was killed in the room, then in the bathroom, then in the boiler room. Like I said, stabbed and drowned, and then dragged to the boiler room and left there or something. And there's a big scary monster which attacks them for a brief moment, and then they go at some point back into the room, and they see the actual murder case happening, with about 200 knife stabs, and then the guts get pulled out, which I felt was a little over the top, but and it looked really easy, like ooh, no, but no, not a big issue here. Just looked more funny than disturbing or scary. Basically, while they are watching this murder case, they find their friend, and they take her, and they do what it basically ends in the most sensical way, like most horror movies should end. They assemble all the people, they gather, and they assemble people? No, that means they putting them back together, right? No, so they all get together and they run away, and it's over. Like, yeah, that's what you should do. Scary stuff is happening, you run away. And in a sense, like, if you want to make a documentary, that's a very good ending for your movie, because it's realistic. But as a movie, I felt like 10-15 minutes more of the scary stuff, and maybe some resolution would have been nice. But no, it's a nice fun. Of course, there's some scene later where the curse is not over. Yeah. No, like I said, it's pretty well done for basically no budget. The horror scenes work quite well, except for the guts that were more funny. It was nice, intense, and well done, boys. Yeah, hello, I've just been editing that video and I realized that I didn't explain why I believe that this documentary style where you just take your video stuff and put it together and release it as a documentary movie may suggest that the two people who made it are, at least in the fictional world of the movie, maybe not the nicest people because, hey, their friend is possessed by some kind of curse or demon or whatever, and they make a movie out of it to profit from it and sell it to people like me. Yeah, so not exactly the nicest thing to do, and yeah, I just wanted to add this little tidbit of opinion. Back to the video. I'm surprisingly happy with this, and yeah, no, good. Happy to see more. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to see Guy's new short film, Two Girls, One Gut, but like I said, he likes to do stuff with girls. Seemingly, that's kind of the human centipede of guts. Don't know what's going on there. It's a short movie. You can probably get it somewhere. No, I think he sold it on his website and it's sold out or something. I think I saw something. It doesn't matter. You will be someday probably be able to watch Two Girls, One Gut somehow. And yeah, I hope you will be able to watch this Unsolved Love Hotel murder case incident as well, because it's, yeah, like I said, a fun movie, good, solid, nice. If you're into this stuff, go get it.